What is good, y'all? It's Ronald, also known as Youcapper from Sportsmemo.com. We got Finesse the Books and Chris B. Capping in the house. My two partners here. Finesse, it's been a while since you've been on. We'll get to you real quick. Chris, you were on yesterday. Just real quick on the recap. We were profitable yesterday on the show. It was funny because I started yesterday off by myself. I had no guests lined up, and then all of a sudden you and Ski popped in and helped me out to finish the show. But we hit the Miami first five under 3.5. Ski hit the Astros full game under. I had the Rays first five run line. I think you had the first five run line on that one as
I
well.
did. Yeah, I cashed on that one.
The Rockies full game money line hit as well. And then the Dodgers run line hit. The ones that we lost was the White Sox first five under. And then Ski had the Angels Rays full game under. And then I had the Dodgers full game under that loss. But overall, profitable day for the show and the trends as well. Was profitable as well. So, yeah, with that said, man, Finesse, like I said, it's been a while since you've been on. You've been real busy, quietly putting a master plan together. But I want you to tell the people, what's been going on and what we can expect from you in the near future, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Just work got me caught up during the day, so I want to be on here every day with y'all boys, just making money. But stuff happens. But yeah, just kind of doing what I've been doing, just trying to grind every day. Finishes baseball stuff strong. Looking forward to NFL, which is creeping up super fast, and then eventually NBA. So definitely working on something huge. Cannot wait to announce to the people. But yeah, we working. We always working. So yeah, excited to be on here and make some money. Seems like a good slate. So let's do it.
Yes, sir. And if you guys don't know, their Twitter tags are right there in front of them. FNS the books at Crispy Capin. Today we want to talk about a lot of people talk about how Finesse breaks down his games because he's a lot different. The way that he bets is a lot different than myself and Chris. He does a lot of player props. He does the nerfy, and those the way that people look at from my perspective, you guys look at the game at a different angle, but at the end of the day, a lot of things correlate. So what I want to talk to Finesse about, or I want him to break down kind of what he looks at, some of the sources that he uses because it's different. Like I said, it's different than the what we use. So yeah, I mean, with that said, the first game that you were looking at was this A's game, and you were looking at a prop there. Kind of talk through what you look at initially, how you find a game that you want to tackle, and then go through that process from beginning to end. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah. So just kind of starting with this game is sometimes sourcing plays are easier than others. For example, this game this prop has just been backing the starting pitcher has been profitable for me the whole year. So that's something that I always look at, right? So sometimes, prior success or failures can determine, kind of what you look at moving forward. But yeah, I mean, some people already know these resources and stuff like that. Some people may not, but just a couple of, resources I'm using every day. First of all, when I start capping, there's and you guys know, right? There's 20 tabs open on my computer.
That's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm kind of just, I got the odds up, I got odds jam up, trying to find the best odds. But just a couple of quick resources before I get into the play. Fangraphs, if you never heard of Fangraphs, like I didn't before the season started. Very good resource, free resource. Takes some getting comfortable with, obviously some messing around with, but extremely good resource, completely for free. It's basically like an encyclopedia for baseball for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I use that. I use Edge House, which is a paid resource. There are some free resources within Edge House, but I highly recommend if you're looking to kind of take your game to the next level, to invest in yourself. So Edge House has made my life much easier, just saving time, things like that. Another big one that a lot of people probably know already is Baseball Savant. If I really want to dive deep into players or pitchers, that's where I go. You'll find everything under the sun there. I also use Roto Grinders a lot, so that kind of helps me with lineups, pitcher props, things like that, player props. Those are my main resources. The resources that are going to be easily accessible. and pretty simple kind of once you figure it out. Um, so kind of what I was talking about before, there's just some guys that I'm always looking to back or fade based on some prior stuff. So I'm looking at the Oakland game, 3:37 Eastern time start. Cole Irvin is on the mound for Oakland, and that's one of my favorite guys to back throughout the whole year, especially at home. Guys rock solid at home. So in this matchup, I don't really feel comfortable picking a winner. Like, hey, I really like Cole, so let me take Oakland first five. I feel much better taking his player prop. So it was playable last night. If you follow me on Twitter, whenever I feel like lines aren't going to last throughout the morning, I'll just drop them at night. So that's what I did. So I got Irvin under 2.5 earned runs. It was minus 150 late at night yesterday. It's unplayable now as a straight, but feel free to parlay it with something. I think it's a very good parlay piece if that's what you guys want to do. So just getting into it super quick. So Irvin has gone under this number. I talked about him at home. Irvin's gone under this number in 11 of his last 12 home games. He has a 2.12 ERA at home. Opponents are batting under 200 at home. And he's only allowed 4 home runs, which is obviously what you look for. Home runs can kill an under earned runs prop. This one is really good. So 17 of the last 19 starting left-handed pitchers versus Miami have gone under this number, and that a wide range of guys that are trash, good lefties, things like that. I also look at Miami's performance, obviously against lefties. So last 30 days versus lefties on the road, they're batting 189, which is terrible. 242 on base percentage, so very little traffic on the bases, and a 46 WRC plus. So basically half of an average offensive team. Miami's projected lineup has 8 to 9 righties in it, and that's Irvin's best spot is versus righties at home. Opponents are batting 195 in those spots. He has a .084 WHIP and only a 3% walk rate. So we talk about less traffic on the bases as well. And the last thing, just looking at Miami's overall performance, last 15 games, Miami's only averaging 2.1 runs in the first 7 innings. I'm expecting Irvin to go into the 6th at least, if not into the 7th. So only 2.1 runs last 15 of first 7 innings, and only 1.6 runs in the first 7 innings last 10 games on the road. So I'm backing Irvin to get it done. I think this is a lower scoring game. Yeah, and I really like that. While it was playable odds, I loved it as a straight. So that's one of my plays for today. So yeah, I like doing write-ups on Twitter. Just kind of bring people into, or at least help bring people into my mind, and
Yeah.
hopefully help their capping and shit like that. So yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
got.
That's dope. And while you were talking to and explaining everything, like I said earlier, the way that you look at games is a lot different than the way that I do, especially since I'm more of a side and total person and you're more of a prop person, right? But going through it, just going through what you were saying in your mind, I can correlate a lot of things to how I look at things. So I want to share my screen real quick and just talk about what you broke down and how you broke it down, and then what I was seeing as well. So you mentioned Cole Irvin, and then you mentioned sort of like a lower scoring game, right? And we see from Spodez, we look at this a lot, is both of these pitchers are trending towards the under here from a full game perspective. And if we go to give me the dog, this is what I wanted to show you, and which supports kind of your look towards Cole Irvin under 2.5 earned runs. If we're just looking at Cole Irvin at home, and you mentioned Irvin at home specifically,
zoom in just a little bit, RC.
Oh yeah, I got you. Is that good?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Cole Irvin at home, and what I wanted to do was focus on teams that are not good. Obviously, the Marlins are not a good offensive team. So what I did was bring in opponents with a win percentage under 45. And so what that brought me was Cole Irvin's starter runs allowed, which was just 0.8. And this is a 5-game sample size. You can kind of see similar type teams that he's facing as far as offensive bats. And so to me, that's one way to look at it, and how to kind of correlate the prop side of it to the side and totals. And so basically what I'm saying is the full game under, like you mentioned, a low scoring game, and also Cole Irvin not giving up 2.5 runs at all. And I don't think it's even close, because if you look at the opponent's overall score at the end of the game, they're not even getting over 3. 2, 1, 1, 0, and 3. Fuck is that noise? Is that me or you guys?
I don't think that's
you
me.
Hear that?
That you, right. Yeah, that ain't me, RC.
Oh, that's a text. That's a text.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Nah, that
Ain't
might be
nothing going on over here.
Okay, that's all good. But yeah, so that's like the correlation of how, sometimes other people see things and then we see it a different way, and when it all lines up, it's just that's where we can make cash. That's where we do the whole let's cap thing. You know what I mean? So I like that look a lot.
RC, real quick, why you still on that page, man? If you just scroll up just a tad bit, and I'm just looking at that final, under the teams and the opponents, I see that 1 to 1.4 runs, and I'm already on the full game under 7. That makes me feel a lot better because that wasn't an angle that I looked at all.
Yeah,
but I'm definitely on that. I took the full game under 7, and I'm probably gonna play the first 5 under 3.5 too. Finesse mentioned a lot of great points on how bad both of these teams have been offensively, just in general throughout the season. But then when you throw in left-handed pitching, specifically for honestly, I don't even know which one of them worse. They are both hitting worse than 200% on the season versus left-handed pitching. So I really like both the first 5 and the full game under. I played the full game, but I didn't play the first 5 yet.
Yeah, I think one of the big reasons why yesterday I took the first 5 under as well was because it's specifically how both of these teams do against left-handed pitchers in their spots, home and away. And you can see here, there's that big gap right there between the run support. And on this side, they just struggle regardless. So, it's a good thing that you stay away from the side, because then you don't you can see how close these numbers are offensively, and you just focus on what which is what we can control, which is Cole Irvin being a great pitcher in this spot specifically. So yeah, I get that play a lot. I like it, and that's probably gonna make, because I wasn't on the total for this game, but now I am. So thank you to you guys that I'm gonna be betting it.
So just a tad bit more on that, RC. Just some more notes I had on that. So Luzardo, he is coming off the start of his life. Last week he held the Dodgers to 1 run in 6 1/3 in his pitch. He only gave up 4 hits and had 7 strikeouts in that game. So I'm looking for him, if he can do that to the Dodgers. And I had the Dodgers on the run line that game. They ended up winning the game 2-1, so they didn't even cover the run line. But if he can do that to the Dodgers, I'm pretty sure he can do it to the A's. Over his last 3 games, RC, we got him giving up 1.67 runs. And all this is right there in front of you. That number actually drops when you go look at his away games to 1.5. Cole Irvin at home, Finesse mentioned how good he was. I got him at a 2.12 ERA, where he's only allowing 1.5 runs. Even though he's given up 3.67 over his last 3, he lacks the run support that we talked about already, only getting 1.67 runs over his last 3 games, 2.58 at home over 12 games. Both of these teams, like we talked about, hitting lefties atrociously over the recent span and over the season. I got both teams averaging 2.4 runs and 2.6. And then you get the Marlins, so that's the Spodev side. But then when you look at the give me the dog side, RC, I was looking at the Marlins. They're 12-5 to the full game under in away games against starting left-handed pitchers, and 13-4 to the first 5 spot in the same spot. And then you get them 4-2 to the first 5. 4-2 to the under for the full game, 5-1 to the first 5 under when Luzardo starts in away games. And then on the opposite side, the A's are 8-4 to the full game under, 7-4 to the first 5 under when Irvin starts at home too. So everything to me just kind of pointed towards the under. Yeah, both pitchers, and also both just the way both of these teams are hitting right now. And I actually saw it drop on one sports book, because I know I got access to a lot. I saw it sitting at 6.5. So getting it at a 7 made me feel good.
It makes a lot of sense. I would, I'm probably gonna place that bet on the full game under after the show, because I didn't do it prior to that, because I was on the side. All right. With that said, let's go to our another game here. The first one would be the Diamondbacks and Royals, and I think Chris, I think you were the one who had a pretty good angle on this one as far as where you wanted to bet on this game. I don't have anything on this game, so maybe you could talk me into it. But just going through Spodevs real quick, Diamondbacks, Gallen and Brady Singer here, both ERA around the 3 mark, and then around 1 whip. If we look at, I think Zach Gallen is your guy. I remember one of the shows previously. So that's probably where we're going with this. Okay. So we got away road 6-5, 2.77 ERA. Last 3-0. So he's getting some run support finally. And then Singer 7-3 at home, 2.92 ERA. Last 3, he's been killing it as well, 3-0, 1.4. So both of these guys are in good form.
Yeah, when they
currently.
both killing that RC, you know what we looking for, baby.
And if we go to the bats, home road, Diamondbacks against righties, they're struggled more against righties than the lefties. Same here on the run support. It's not too far off for the Royals. Last 5, Royals struggling really bad against righties. And then bullpen, both are pretty bad actually, especially the Royals. I wonder if you're focusing on the first 5. I'm trying to guess what you're doing. Okay, so let's go to Give Me the Dog. What do you got here?
Let's live cap it, RC, because I actually wrote down a bunch of different things. So immediately before checking out Brady Singer and looking at him specifically in this home spot, the first thing I wrote down was taking the first 5 under 3.5. But then I also wanted to take the Diamondbacks for the first 5 because I can get them at plus money. Zach Gallen, I mentioned this already, but he hasn't given up a run in his last 3 games, and 2 of them were against pretty bad teams. I don't know if the Pittsburgh was in there, but I know he blanked the Giants last week. So yeah, he got the Giants, and then who else is in there? I see at the bottom.
Oh, sorry. On the road, right? Are you looking at the road?
Yeah, so he got the Giants, he got the Rockies. It was one more team that he blanked as well, but they were at home. But anyway, that's why I wanted to take the Diamondbacks. But we've been way more profitable on totals than we have been on sides, RC. So I'm cool with sticking to the side in this one. One thing that I had looked up, RC, was Gallen being 7-3 to the 7-3-1 to the full game under in his away starts. 3 of his last 4 have gone under, and I think you had that pulled up just now. Just Gallen in his away starts. Yeah. So, but then when you look at Singer on the opposite side, like you said, he's been good too recently. 6-3-1 to the full game under in his home starts. 5 games in a row have went under for Singer at home.
What happened?
That looked right to me.
Yeah, I know. Real quick though, right before we move to Singer, I think what I brought in was Gallen as a road favorite. What's going on here? And then, were you looking at the first 5 under or the side? I forgot.
So no, that's what I was saying. I see. Let's cap it together and see what you feel more comfortable with. Because initially I was looking at the Diamondbacks, but then I got more notes. I felt more support running the SDQL and looking at Give Me the Dog on the full game under. Even though you talked about the bullpens, but I also like the first 5 under a lot. So it might be 2 plays for me in this one.
I don't know if I can mess with the full game just because of how bad the Royals
bullpen
is. What do you think, Finesse?
Yeah, I'm along those same lines. So I'm gonna have probably a couple of plays in this game. So as you guys have mentioned, I mean, both of these guys in their respective situation have been dominant, right? So both of these guys have been so good that I can't even really pick a side in the first 5. Like Zach Gallen is unbeaten in his last 6 first 5s on the road. But looking at those road starts, 11 road starts, he's only allowing 1 run on average. And then Brady Singer at home, 10 starts, only allowing 1.4 earned runs. And the closer you zoom in, the smaller that number gets. So both guys have been amazing. I think RC, you mentioned just how bad Kansas City is faring versus righties. And it's pretty bad. I mean, just versus righties since August 9th, so last couple of weeks, they only batting 221, getting on base less than 30% of the time. Relatively no power in the bats, and the WRC plus is 74. Arizona isn't even striking out that much lately versus righties, which makes me want to look at Singer's under 5.5 Ks. But They're going to put at least 5 or 6 lefties in that lineup. And last like 2 months, Singer's K percentage versus righties is versus lefties is almost 38%. So I have to stay with that. But the under 3.5 just seems like the play. I mean, it's really that simple. And because I like the first 5 under, very rarely does this happen because the people's nerfy was already given out. But I like the nerfy. It's minus 145 on DK. I'm sure I can get better odds somewhere else. Both of these guys have been dominant in the first inning and in their respective situations. So, just very light offensive offense in the first 5. That's what I'm looking at.
That's kind of what I was looking at too. Chris, was that first 5 under. And real quick, just Don play. I'm gonna have Von Dalzell tomorrow on the show with me, and he's gonna be talking week 0 college football and also the last week of preseason NFL. So he's gonna be on with me to talk tomorrow to talk football. So real quick, so what I see here is, so you mentioned Brady Singer at home, and then when I dove into it a little bit deeper, I looked at how he does against weaker opponents, right? When teams with a losing record, 3-1 to the first 5 under. You can see opposing teams are not scoring a lot in that first 5, and then we already saw how Gallen does in his first 5 as well. He's limiting opponents in the first 5 to, I think his was under 1 run as well, right?
I think it was right at 1 RC, at least in his away starts in the first 5.
Right at 1 average. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's probably the only way I could look at it is the first 5 under. And you said it's at 3.5 right now.
3.5, yeah. And just to add more to that, RC, I got the Diamondbacks being 7-2 to the first 5 under as a team. Finesse kind of mentioned this already, but Diamondbacks being 7-2 to the first 5 under in away games versus right-handed pitching this month. So it's a pretty large sample size, 9 games, 7 of those have gone under. Then the Royals also are 6-1-3 to the first 5 under at home games versus starting right-handed pitchers this month as well. Singer being 6-3 to the first 5 under in his home games. And we just talked about how Zach Gallen limits his opponents as well. So, I think I'm gonna play both. I think I'm gonna play the first 5 and I'm gonna play the full game. I like the 7.5 and I like the 3.5.
Oh shoot! Yeah, my fault, Mitch. I forgot about that. I didn't do the trends yet. I'll do it right after. I'll do it after. But when we the recap. Zach Gallen K is 5.5. What do you think about that one, Finesse? You're more of a prop person. Over 5.5.
Yeah, I was strong looking at that. The problem for me is I wanted to alt the K's down, but to try to pair 5 with something, 5 is just too juiced right now. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, Gallens has his strikeout pitch working. As of late, Kansas City had a patch where they really weren't striking out versus righties that much, but that has quickly dissipated since August 1st, like I mentioned. And then just kind of zooming in further versus righties at home. Hold on, let me find it.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, I can't find a number right now. Strikeout percentage versus righties at home, but yeah, it's a very interesting number to me. I think I can make arguments for both sides, so I'm going to stay off.
Because I was while you're on that too, because so I could see why, right? We would want to take the over because he's striking out a lot more in his last 3. But then I think like you're mentioning here, the Royals 6.86 here against righties at home. That's not a high number that's not a high number. It's lower than what we usually see in this table here. So I get why you're staying off. It makes sense to me. Yeah, hopefully that helps you, Mitch. I don't know if you took that bet already, but hopefully that helps you a little bit. All right, so I think for that one, I'm pretty set on that first 5 under 3.5. Let's go to the next one.
Love to see it, RC. Love to see it, man. Also, right before the show, RC, I gave out the San Francisco Detroit under 4.5 for the first 5 is 0-0 bottom of the 5th. So we looking good there too.
Got you. All right, let's see. All right, the next game.
Finesse was on the nerfy.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw it late. Astros Twins. All right, so I got Astros, Twins here. I think this is one of my trends. Let me just double check real quick. Sorry. Where did my screen go? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so we got Astros, Twins, we got Bundy and Valdez. Do you guys see my screen? Why is my screen gone?
Nah, it's not up. Well, it is up, but it's still on Sportmemo.
Oh, there it is. I don't know what happened. My screen's all jacked right now. 1 second. Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah,
is it
you
moving?
Good.
Okay. All right, we're good. All right, so Twins, Astros. We got Bundy and Valdez here, righty versus lefty. From a starter perspective, you can see a big advantage here on the Astros side. If we look towards the splits here, you can see a little bit further that Bundy is actually pitching pretty well in his last three, but his home road split seems to be, he struggles more on the road than he does at home. And then for Valdez, 3-0, 2.21 ERA, 3.51 ERA at home. If we look at the batting, Twins struggle against lefties more than they do against righties on the road. Here, it's the opposite. Astros struggle against righties more than they do against lefties at home. Still, I feel like if we look at the bullpen here, the Astros are a lot better than the Twins. I feel like this is another one that we might need to tackle on the first five. Just kind of throw away the bullpens here just because of how big of a gap there is between the two teams. Did you guys have any looks on this one at all, either from a prop perspective or anything else?
Yeah, so I like this game. I mean, you mentioned Bundy home road. I mean, one of the starkest home road splits of any pitcher that I've seen. The ERA balloons almost 3.5 runs higher on the road. And just looking at the first five. So as you mentioned, he's been better. He has not lost the first five in his last 5 road starts. But before that, I mean, it was terrible. Also, not the best of competition. White Sox are in there. LA was in there. Texas is in there. And Milwaukee's in there. So not the best comp last 5 starts. I trust Valdez a lot more. Not only is it Valdez on the mound, but just the way this Houston team has been hitting righties as of late, especially at home. So since August 9th, which gives you about 2.5 weeks sample size, about 2 weeks, that's almost 150 at-bats. They're batting 295. WRC plus is 126. Slugging, OPS, ISO, all above league average. And you pair with that with how bad Bundy has been on the road, and then looking at Valdez at home, 9 starts at home. Bundy's also letting up 3.5 runs in the first 5 at home. I think Valdez can get it done. Houston is performing a lot better versus righties than Texas is as of late. So I love Houston first 5 in this spot.
Houston first 5. Okay, so the way that I was looking at it was actually towards the total. And one of my one of the trends to watch is on Minnesota here. Let me bring that up.
Is it an under?
It's actually an over.
Is it over?
Yeah. Were you looking at the under?
No. I didn't have a play on this game at all. I'm just listening to you guys. With Bundy being in there, I should have figured it was the over.
Yeah, I mean, because we just looked at Bundy's stats and he was 8-2-1 or something to the over on road games, and Twins specifically in non-divisional road dog situations against starting left-handed pitchers, 8-1 to the over.
4-game over. Okay.
Yeah, and then it was pretty similar. If we looked at Dylan Bundy's stats, it was pretty similar as far as how many runs the opponents are scoring in that first 5. So it almost seems like it doesn't really matter in this situation who's pitching. It's always pretty much going to be the same. But I see him a lot in this spot. Hold on.
You was looking to the full game, RC, or more so the first 5?
Full game was the way that I was looking.
Okay.
But yeah. But that was the trend that I had for trend to watch today. Did you have anything else on this one, Chris?
Nah, nothing at all. What is Valdez doing this spot? Is he giving up runs as well at home against
5 and 4 to the over. What's the total? 8, right?
First 5.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
So the first 5 would probably be what, 4 or 4.5?
4.5. Well, yeah, you probably get 4.5. Some books I probably have it at 4.
So this is average at 5 in general. So we go to their favorite thought every time. And it's at minus 230. And all these totals seem to be at 8. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1 second. So first 5 team total, first 5 over 5, 2, and 2. And that's what I was saying. Wait, no, not the full game. Sorry. What did I say when in Spodez was to take away the bullpen because of how good the Astros bullpen is. So yeah, it was actually the first 5 that I was looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, 4.5. I didn't take it yet, but that's kind of like the way that I was leaning.
Yeah, to me, I feel like not running any queries or anything and give me the dog. I just feel like when the Astros score, they score before the first 5, and then they kind of coast throughout the rest of the game.
The Astros or the Twins?
The Astros. Like when I watch the Astros, I feel like they score early, and then they just kind of coast the rest of the game. They might get a run, they might not. What you think about Devin?
I think every time I take Houston first 5, they score 0 runs in the first 5.
Me too. That's why I can't do it.
And then score 8 runs in the 7th to win the game.
Like last night, I didn't take them. Like I was like, I ain't messing with it, and they of course they scored. But yeah, I'm with you for that. I think I've been burnt by the Astros as like the best team more times than any other team besides probably like the Mets.
If they can't get it off Bundy, they're banned, bro, for the whole year, bro.
All right, so it looks like is the team total would be 2.5. Is it juiced over?
Let me check that. I'll check it for you real quick.
Plus 100 on DK.
Over 2.5?
Yeah.
You said plus 100 for that?
Yeah, on DK.
Okay. I see minus 110 at 2.5. You can play 3 for plus 130.
What book is that on?
On Hard Rock.
Yeah, now get your ass over to DK and get that plus money.
I think someone mentioned it in the chat, so that's why I want to look at it. But the team total over 2.5 first 5 might be a good way to look at it. Because when we looked at fading Dylan Bundy, opponents are averaging over 3.5 themselves in the first 5. We look at Astros here against starting right-handed pitchers, home favorite, and we're looking at like when they're a big favorite, like minus 200 or more. They're over 3 in that first 5.
Do they give Valdez a lot of run support in general? RC, what number was that when he's at home?
In this spot specifically?
Just at home. Like just at home, him being at home. Do they give him a lot of run support?
All right, 1 second. Let me.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay, I got you. In this spot specifically, Valdez, he's getting
okay.
Average of 4.5 in the first 5. But if we just let's take all this stuff out and just put Valdez. Wait, do we? Yeah, let's just do that. So he's right at 2.5. But if we just go 3.25.
Okay.
Yeah. If we go against a right-handed pitcher. So to me, that looks pretty good. Over team total 2.5. And it's at plus money?
Yeah, Finesse said it was plus. I think he said plus 100 on DraftKings. I see it on Hard Rock at minus 110, but I got DraftKings too.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Diamondbacks. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with that. I think I'm gonna rock with that one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like Finesse said, they burn me every time I see, but that's the only way I would be able to look at that one.
At least we're not working on the side. We're just saying they're gonna score 2.5 against Bundy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Over 2.5. I'm gonna write it down, put it on my short list.
Astro team total over 2.5. Was it plus 100? I gotta check my book later.
I think he said plus 100. Yeah.
Yeah, plus
Okay.
100. And just real quick, because I'm eavesdropping. 13 road starts for Bundy. He's given that up in 8 of those.
Okay. 8 out of 11 is what, 88%? No, it's higher than 88%. I'm mad for.
I missed that day of math class.
Me too.
I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at Mitch. I saw that Chet Holmgren. I was watching the highlight when LeBron came, and I believe that was the game that he got injured. And I seen what happened. He was in the post, and I don't even know how he. I don't even think he jumped. He just walked away limping. I don't know exactly what happened, but I seen that play where he was limping off. So that sucks if he got a torn ligament.
Yeah, that's horrible, bro.
So I'm writing down what SoCal DJ just put.
I was about to say, can you copy? You can't copy and paste. No, you can't copy.
No,
and
I
paste.
can't. So he just needs to text me next time. And
Astros when they scored 5 or less runs and they're at home, and their previous game was a win, and the opponent starter ERA is greater than 4.5 since June 10th, 2019. That's a lot, bro.
06.
0610.
5-0 since 2019.
3.8 runs.
Oh, that's all 2022. That's all this year.
Yeah.
Why do we put that date on? Okay.
3.8 runs in that spot, I see. More support for that first 5 over.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with that one. Astros team total over 2.5. All right, last game before we cut out, and then I'll drop the trends. Toronto Blue Jays first. Oh, sorry, not first.
Cameron said season to date ERA excludes career ERA. Because I always be talking about SERA.
How do you figure that out?
I have no idea. DM me,
go.
Cameron. Yeah, I need to know, bro.
So it is STDS ERA that we should be using, not SERA, because you don't want
the career. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, cool. All right, so we got Berrios and Bayo, I think it's Bayo. And you can see right away, ERA 5.39, 10.5. Bayo's only 3 starts in for the season. If we look at that, I mean, I think for me, the first initial thing that I want to see is towards the over, right? Yeah. So 2 of these games were at home. On the road for Berrios, 6.82.
10-2 to the over on a away spot.
On the road spots, yeah. That was pretty much one of the that's the other trend that I had. So if we look at home away batting splits, you can see the Blue Jays hit righties way better than they do against lefties on the road. On the other side, Red Sox here hit righties less than they do against lefties. That's about a one run gap there. So that makes me look at it a little bit differently, but we can continue going. If we look at last 5 here, Blue Jays continue to rock righties, and then Red Sox here pretty consistent as far as that goes. And then if we look at bullpen, 4.95 ERA, 3.51 in these spots specifically. All right, so if we go to Give Me the Dog, I'll bring in my other trend here.
Eunice only said Blue Jays roll at Fenway. Blue Jays team total over 5. I think they covered the over last night by themselves. In that third inning, I was watching that game live when they was down 1-0, and they scored 8 runs in the top of the third by themselves to coast on that one.
Yeah, who said team total? Because initially I was looking at the full game, but now it really does look like more so a team total.
Yeah, Eunice only said Blue Jays. He said they roll at Fenway. In general, I think I looked at it earlier. RC, you can pull it up if you want to. I think the Blue Jays are 11-3 this year, in their last 14 games.
Yeah,
it might not be against the Red Sox in general. I want to say I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Then I know Drew Martin from Wagertalk was on Ski's show yesterday too, and he dropped some gems about the Blue Jays at Fenway as well. So
I ended up playing them last night too. That's why I was watching the game. They cashed.
All right, so this one specifically, this is another one of the trends to watch here. Barrios at home. Sorry, Barrios on the road against teams with a record over 4,200, over 42%, 10-0 to the over, 8-1-1 to the over first 5. And they're clearing it pretty easily because we're seeing totals of 8 and 7.5 for the most part. Even this Big 10, they covered the over there. And that's what we're seeing here. And that's kind of the direction that I was going. And with the Red Sox struggling to hit righties at home on the season, it kind of leans me towards just sticking with the Blue Jays team total over more so than the full game.
Yeah, RC, just to add, I think I looked it up. You can pull it up too if you want to. I think I looked it up earlier because the Blue Jays been hitting righties good. They struggled against lefties, and we saw that against Nestor Cortez Jr. the other day when they played against the Yankees. But if you look at the Blue Jays, and it might be away against opponents who started to right, I think they're like 19-13 to the over for the full game. See if that's correct.
Say that one again. On the road against.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think whatever I had queried earlier was like 19-13 to the over.
19-13. Let's look at that. Maybe it's a favorite.
Maybe it is the favorite.
19-13 to the over. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it right there. Yep, 19-13 to the over. So when they're away favorite against a starting right-handed pitcher, those games typically go over too. And you could use this to figure out if you want to take that team total or not.
9.5. All right, let's look at how they do in higher totals.
That's 5.73. So that supports what Eunice only was saying. Team total over 5 for the.
See this. All right, so this is why I look at it in this fashion, right? We want to see how books see these teams in similar odds, right? So if we order it by total, and you see all these unders here when it comes to 8 and 8.5s, and then when they expect more runs like 9s and stuff like that, then everything they actually go over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of like the whole thing about lines and stuff telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go 9 and up,
hold on, what happened with the under, bro?
I don't know. Ski said over 9.5 runs. Shit, that's good. All right, so that means we're all aligned. So if we look at that and we say the Blue Jays as road favorites, and they expect runs, then runs happen. You know what I mean? So and then if you look at that team total on their side, they're just smashing. Oh dang! That could be it. Hold on, let me take that off real quick. Let's take out that 722 because that's sort of like an outlier. The 22nd. So 8-2, it's still over. 3.9, 5.9. Yeah, either way, I think we're good to take that over, either the team total or the full game. Any thoughts on that? I know Finesse, you kind of missed part of that. But any thoughts on this game at all?
Yeah, just to echo, I mean, these teams have trended heavily towards the over in their matchups this year. So, not much to add. It's over or nothing for me.
Yeah. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, when you see Barrios, especially on the road, like we pulled, I mean, it's hard to go against a trend that's 11-2. So, be on the over too. Because we know the Blue Jays gonna hit, and Barrios gonna give it up too. So, yeah, I like that.
Would you rather focus on the team total or the full game?
I think the Red Sox can score. It's Barrios, right? Okay. It's not like he's the guy that's out here shutting teams down and we're having to focus. So I like that.
Boston and Blue Jays. All right, so that's that. I think those are the games that I wanted to look at, and then let me drop this off. Where is it? Okay, so the trends today. Today's MLB trends to watch. We went over both of these. Minnesota 8-1 full game over as non-divisional road dogs versus left-handed pitchers, and then the Blue Jays. Oh, hold on, let me take that banner off. Blue Jays 10-0 full game over, 8-1 first 5 over on the road against teams greater than a 42% win percentage when Barrios starts. So three overs there. There was a lot of other trends that I had, but those were for Sportsmemo client plays today. But yeah, so that's that. Today we went through 3 games. Finesse went through his whole process there in the beginning. A lot of people, like I said, man, if someone's doing the work and you can hear it in their process, I'm not gonna knock nobody, regardless of if I don't bet the way that they do or not, because at the end of the day, the way that they look at it and the way that we look at games, it all correlates. And I showed that in the beginning, the way he broke down that Cole Irving play, and I was able to do it from a side and total perspective. That's what we're looking to do here on Let's Cap, and we're all positive. We're all in the positive community. We all want each other to win, regardless of how we bet and how we look at games. And so with that said, man, I love how everyone in the chat has been the last few weeks, and today you guys been popping, providing plays, adding to the narrative here. Finesse, I don't know when we'll be able to have you on again, but man, we need it to happen more often, because we need these angles from the prop perspective. Because whenever the guys in the chat add stuff about props, I got nothing to add, and to have someone here like you on it that already has a good view towards it, it's super helpful. But yeah, one last thing too, just to recap the plays. These are what I heard, and so it's Irvin under 2.5 earned runs allowed, right, Finesse? And then from a full game under perspective, full game under 7 on the A's. Are you doing the first 5, Chris?
Yes, I'm playing both. Honestly, I'm playing the full game in the first 5, under 3.5, under 7.5.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it was under 7.
Under 7. Yeah, I got I'm gonna rock with the under 7.
Yeah,
full
7.
Game.
Yeah.
And then D-backs Royals under first 5, 3.5 under. Astros team total over 2.5, and then the Boston Red Sox and Blue Jays over 9.5 runs. So those are the plays for today. Anything to add, or any Finesse or Chris, before we cut out?
No, yeah, appreciate you having me. I'm free all week, so hopefully I can hop on here, at least one more time. And always love chatting up with you boys. And
let's do Friday. Can you do Friday?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Shit, let's do Friday, because Austin's gonna be out of town. He's usually the guy I rock with on Friday, so I got some opening on Friday. Chris, you gonna come back on Friday?
Yeah, I'll be here. I see.
Right.
The Tigers scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and my under 4.5 just missed. Logan Webb got rocked.
I think that's what he meant about the jinx there. So that's probably what was happening. Mitch, I gotta get you on pretty soon. I'm pretty soon. You're gonna have to be on here. All right. So with that said, man, this is the end of the show. Chris, when is our show gonna or not our show, but the other episode coming out?
Probably this weekend.
This weekend? Okay. That sounds good. So we're probably gonna. I can't wait for that to drop. That was pretty fun. Hopefully we do a part 2. And I cannot find my stuff here to close out the show. All right. So I think okay. That's it. That's the end of the show, guys. So those of you who all tuned in on YouTube and on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button before you bounce. One of the big things here that I want to drop to is that link here right to the right, or down in the corner right next to Chris, our chalkboard page. Head over there. Me, Chris, and Finesse host that page. And it's also in the description as well. The links is down there. But as always, I have to end with this. Please remember, whether you fade us or follow us, it's on you to make that call. Good luck on all your action. Till next time. Peace.